kingdom Protista. Protista are unicellular eukaryotic organisms. Eukaryotic means those organisms which have got a well-defined nucleus. They also contain membrane-bound organelles. They can be acellular or unicellular forms. Protista is considered to be the garbage can of classification because all those organisms which did not have a proper place to be kept in or characteristics that were contradictory were all placed into this group or this kingdom. Today we are going to study about the classification of kingdom Protista. Kingdom Protista can be classified as photosynthetic protists or the protistine algae, the slime molds and the protozoan protists. So we begin with the photosynthetic protists or the protistine algae. Now this division of algal protists comprise of a large number of chlorophyll containing organisms of the simplest type. It ranges from unicellular to complex multicellular thalli. Three groups of protist algae are there, namely example diatoms, division Pyrophyta, example dinoflagellates and euglena-like flagellates. So first we will study chrysophytes. This division of algal protists comprise diatoms, golden brown algae and yellow-green algae. They live in fresh water or a marine environment. They are microscopic and they have characteristic pigments like chlorophyll A and C, fucoxanthin and carotenoids. They store food in the form of oils, fats and a unique polysaccharide called laminarin. Now we come to the example diatoms. Now I have drawn Coccidodiscus and Navicula. These are the diatoms. Now what actually are diatoms? They are the dominant members of the group Chrysophyta. So diatoms are dominant members of the group Chrysophyta. They have fine geometrical expressions and intricate sculpturing in their cell wall, and that make them the most beautiful microscopic objects. It seems as if somebody has done sculpturing on them. So they look absolutely beautiful when you watch them under the microscope. They occur in every aquatic habitat and the cell is variable in shape. It is surrounded by a rigid two rigid parts are present there. One part and it looks just like a biscuit tin, an upper part and a lower part. So the upper part is the epitheca and the lower part is known as the hypotheca, and its overlapping cell wall is known as frustule. So it's got an overlapping cell wall which is known as frustule, and as I told you, it looks like a biscuit tin fitting upper side and the lower side. Upper side epitheca and the lower side is the hypotheca. Frustule is made up of pectic substances and it is impregnated with high amount of siliceous substance. Golden color is due to the presence of xanthophyll. Now these atoms, when they perish and they have got a siliceous cell wall, so what happens to this siliceous cell wall? It remains there and collects and it forms a diatomaceous earth. These diatoms, they can be used because they contain a large amount of silica, so they can be used for in paints, they can be used in shoe polishes and aerosols. So they have got great economic importance. Now we come to the division Pyrophyta. Pyro means fire, so they glow like fire and the example is dinoflagellates. Now we'll study dinoflagellates. These are again unicellular marine forms. That means they are found in oceans and seas. And the cellulosic cell wall is divided into plates. They have got a cellulosic cell wall and it is divided into plates like this, and which gives them an armored appearance, as if they are wearing an armor. So it gives an armored appearance. They possess a pair of flagella which is along opposing groups. One is in the longitudinal direction and one is in the transverse direction. So you can see the two flagella, this and this two flagellar arrangement gives them a spin. So when you observe them under the microscope, you can see them spinning under the microscope. So because of the two arrangement of the two types of flagella, a transverse and a horizontal flagella, they contain, or they also contain chlorophyll A and C. They have got carotenoids and they are brown, yellow, green, blue or red colored, and a red in color. Okay, they have got a single layered nuclear membrane. Like all other eukaryotes, they have got a double layered nuclear membrane, but dinoflagellates have got a single layer of this nuclear membrane. Overgrowth of dinoflagellates is responsible for red tides. So when lots of these are growing in the marine water, they called red tides. Now these dinoflagellates release a large number of toxins, and if these toxins are consumed by the fish and the fish is consumed by the human being, it may cause numbness, paralysis and even death of human beings. These dinoflagellates are phosphorescent, that is, they glow in the dark. So what happens whenever a tide comes, it seems as if fire is glowing on it, and that is why they belong to the division Pyrophyta. Now we come to the next one. They are the Euglena-like flagellates. Now these flagellates, Euglena-like flagellates, they have got, they are also photosynthetic, they are heterotrophic, and instead of the cell wall, they have a pellicle. So you can see the covering that is present here is known as the pellicle. This, they have got chloroplasts in them. So you know chloroplasts are found in plant cells. They do not have a cell wall. So animal cells, so you can see its contradictory placement under kingdom Progesta. It's got a contractile vacuole and it is meant for the elimination of excess water, or you can say osmoregulation, that is salt water balance. You can see pyromylon granules here, and Euglena moves with the help of flagella. So you can see two flagella here. This is a larger flagella and here you can see a smaller flagella. So larger flagella and a smaller flagella for locomotion. So it also has got, you can see the divisions here, they are called the myonemes. So now we come to the next one. So we have completed photosynthetic protists. Now we come to the second category. The second category are the slime molds. As the very name, you must have seen slime. So as the very name tells you, they have got a slimy appearance. They are usually consumer decomposer protists, or they are saprophytic protists, and they have a plasmodium or a pseudoplasmodium or an amoeboid like body. During unfavorable conditions, this plasmodium develops or forms fruiting bodies which have got spores on their tips, and these spores have true walls. So the most common example being Physarum.